The Thomas House Hotel, built in 1890, was once a wellness spa, a summer camp for boys, and even the home to a cult. This is Hold My Sweet Tea. Hello, I'm Pearl.
And I'm Holly. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So let's talk about our trip to Natchez, Mississippi.
Yeah, it was so fun.
We had the best time. It was a really long drive, though. Well, I say long because I hate driving. It was 2.5 hours.
It's long enough.
That's long enough for me.
But it was long enough there and long enough back.
All right. By the time I got home, I was like, I am so sleepy.
Well, and it was nice and breezy when we first got there. And then, like, towards the end of the day, when we were getting ready to leave, it was gross.
It was hot.
Steamy.
Yeah. But, you know, that's what you got to look forward to in the South.
Yep. Hot and steamy.
I was like, this is summer weather, and it just turned spring.
And then today.
Yeah.
Back in the sweater.
Exactly. I know. I'm like, I have a sweater on right now because it was cold this morning.
So I left my house forgetting that the weather had switched back. And I got in and I'm driving like halfway. I go, why am I cold in my car?
Right.
Well, because I have the air on and it's cold outside.
Because it's like 50-something degrees outside. Or it was like 40-something this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was chilly.
Yeah. For the South, that's cold. We're bundling up in sweatshirts and sweaters. And
it was still windy. So that made a big difference, too.
Breezy for cheesy.
Yes, it was.
But we had such a good time in Natchez. We went to Longwood, which is the largest octagonal house in the United States.
Oh.
The tallest, too, because that sucker's 6 stories high.
Yep. And the nuts lived in it.
I know. The tour guide kept saying nuts, the nuts, the nuts. And I'm like, oh, I have this thing with repetitive words. I don't know if it's my ADD or what it is, but it starts driving its way into my brain and irritating me after a while. So I was like trying to tune
You're
out.
Like, I'm also nuts.
And I'm like, I'm going freaking nuts because you keep saying it. Yeah, like after somebody repeats something so many times, I'm hyper aware.
But they do that like once an hour. So could you imagine like all day long repeating that same story over and over again?
That woman has in her mouth? Oh
yeah,
my God.
By that time, there's been a lot of nuts flying out of her mouth.
But it was really interesting because, you know, when the family had moved in there, they had only finished the basement level. The second level was kind of finished, but they hadn't moved in it because it was just brick and everything. It was really pretty.
It was like you said, kind of finished. It wasn't. They still had some windows to install and things of that nature. But
the upper 4 levels, and
the actual floor.
Yeah.
Like it had the plank floor, but it didn't have like the tile and stuff they were going to do.
Well, and they abruptly stopped because of the Civil War starting. So they boarded everything up and then it just sat there.
Condition of the sale.
Yep.
When they sold it to the garden club.
That they would not finish it.
Yeah. And it would become a museum, which it has.
It's really cool, though. It's really interesting. Pearl and I don't know if anybody has seen our video, but we were the only ones that went down the little creepy path and went to the cemetery and got to see where all the nuts were buried.
Yeah, because the cemetery was in the woods.
Yep. So. And there was some weird noises happening out there.
Yeah, there were some really weird. It sounded like almost like a creaky door. It was so weird. I'm like, what is that?
Somebody's in there opening their coffin.
Yep. That's what it was like.
I know.
I'm
like, come on, I want to see a ghost. So a lot of people say that it could be haunted. We've read some stuff on there. I got no.
Yeah, I didn't get any like weird, oogie, ghosty vibes in there at all. It was very calm and clean feeling, actually. So I don't know, but there's like other people who say that Mr. Nut, Mr. Holler
Nut.
They say that he's around. I mean, he did die from the pretty early, didn't they say pneumonia or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he did die early on, and his wife lived there like an additional 30-something years after him. So,
but it was like really interesting. And then we went and toured around King's Tavern, which definitely gave me a creepy vibe because I trespassed and went in the back while Pearl stayed out front and kept watch.
I was watching because there were people across the street watching us.
Right? I was like, it's for sale. I'm interested. What?
I'm looking in the windows. Calm down.
The whole time I'm going, Madeline, are you in there? I'm like, this woman's going to put her face up to the window while I'm looking in, and I'm going to
scare the bejesus out of you.
Pee my pants.
Come walking around and be like, I had an accident.
I peed my pants. But yeah, it's definitely creepy. Gives you the creep factor. It's for sale still.
It is for sale.
And nobody has bought it, and it's been years.
Somebody go get it.
Right. And then we ate the most delicious food at the Natchez Brewing Company.
Yeah. Nummy calzone.
Yes. They make their own beer right there, and it was
also
good.
Yeah. And I'm like, beer is beer.
Yeah.
But actually what I had, I felt like it was pretty good tasting. So for what it is.
So we had a good time.
My calzone was really great, actually.
Mine was too.
I got the Hawaiian because duh. Which I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't like it was like slices of ham like they do for pizza or whatever. It was like literal pulled pork.
Yeah, yours had pulled pork on it. I got the Italian one, and it was so good.
Yeah. So we had a good time.
And then when we got home, we were tired. And
we saw my street.
Yes, and we saw Pearl Street, and we were so tired by the time we got home.
Yeah, all we could talk about all the way home was how tired we were. We're so old.
I know. I'm like, it warmed me up. But I don't go anywhere because we work so much, and we've always got something going on. So
one day out in the sun with some extra vitamin D, and we're like, and I mean actual vitamin D, not like
not
vitamin D. Okay, no. Look, leftover sausage.
Oh my
ghost
God.
Jokes.
I hope everyone enjoyed the previous episode with the sausage ghosts because we were delirious that day.
Yeah.
But what is our story today?
So we are going to talk about the Thomas House Hotel. It's in Tennessee and wasn't always technically a hotel.
I've never heard of this one, so I'm deeply interested.
Yeah, and I'll tell you about the cool stuff they do on weekends now and all that. The Thomas House was built in 1890, and it was originally built as, they say, a resort spa that catered to the elite and most wealthy in Tennessee. That was like also considered like a wellness spa, not just like resort spa, because of it's built on a natural spring.
Oh,
so
nice.
You know, the healing properties.
Absolutely.
So sick people came there all the time. Some people died there because they were sick there.
In the natural springs that you're going to go get in.
Right. But that's also what made it especially attractive to vacationers. So it being built on that natural mineral spring, are like, oh, let's go see it.
Right.
You know, let's go see this healing spring.
I would go.
It even attracted President Woodrow Wilson. Now, it wasn't always called the Thomas House Hotel. It was originally known as the Cloyd Hotel. It was built by the local hardware store owners William Clay Cloyd, Zachariah Wheat Cloyd, and Thomas Tyler Cloyd.
Oh, those are some fancy names.
Right? They put in all the middle names and everything.
I know. They throw in them government names.
Unfortunately, in 1924, the original building did get destroyed by fire.
Oh, no.
So, it was burned completely to the ground and wasn't rebuilt until 1927. It then had over 50 rooms and 2 community bathrooms.
That's just fun. That's fun. 2.
2 for 50 rooms.
And then you're like, okay, let's just say on average, just couples. That's 100 people, 2 bathrooms.
2 community bathrooms. I mean, I don't know how many pots are in there. Probably not a lot.
Probably not. That's gross.
Yeah. Over the life of this building, it has changed owners and subsequently changed names several times. It was a boys' summer camp at one time. And then after the boys' summer camp, it became home to a cult until 1993.
Like a David Koresh cult or a
Can I find
satanic
anything
cult?
about this cult? Abso-freaking-lutely not. So it's speculation that it was a cult. Nowhere can I find information saying it was actually a cult.
You know what kind of cult I want to be in? If you watch The Umbrella Academy and Klaus, I want to be in Klaus's cult
You want to be
because
Klaus's cult.
he is just like
Holly loves
just
Klaus.
I love Klaus. that is my ideal man right there.
She purrs for Klaus.
I would follow Klaus anywhere.
You're like, you want me to drink the Kool-Aid? Okay.
Okay, what flavor? I really prefer tropical punch, but okay.
Right. I'll drink the grape if you insist.
Sure.
So after 1993, it would then be purchased by the Thomas family and turn into the Thomas House Hotel.
Nice.
But before all of that, there was another fire in the 1990s.
Oh, wow.
That literally required the entire hotel to be rebuilt.
Did they make more bathrooms this time?
You know, I
That's
sure
what's
hope
on my
so.
mind because I'm like,
There are definitely more
please have
bathrooms.
more bathrooms.
How many there are, I couldn't tell you. But I think now the rooms have their own bathrooms.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. So, it is said that the hotel's location with the underground springs and limestone beneath it, and the fact that there is an intersection of creeks on the property that actually mark a former Native American trail, that it kind of lends itself to being haunted. It's like the perfect storm for activity. Unlike I said before, it always attracted many guests for its natural healing springs, and it still does.
See, now I want to go because it's haunted. That's our next trip.
Right. There are claims of dark figures in rooms, cold spots, beds moving, and even ghoulish voices that seem to follow the unsuspecting guests. The hotel itself has seen multiple suicides, murders, and, of course, victims of the fires, because there were people there when they burned.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Crazy stuff. Lots of dead people in there.
Yeah, I would say so.
Over time.
Especially burning down that many times and being rebuilt. On
And
the
then
same
I'm sitting
site.
here going, how many times do you let something burn down before you realize,
Maybe it should stay burned down.
yeah, like this is a sign, yo, move.
Yeah. Third burns the charm.
Right. There you go. The hotel has been on many paranormal television shows, including Paranormal State, portals to hell, and ghost hunters. They currently hold ghost hunt weekends, but you can also still book a regular night stay if you don't want to participate in all that fun jazz. In November of 2024, Channel 4 WSMV reported that the pool in front of the hotel was set to be demolished and would be replaced with a pavilion that can be used for events. This was a community pool that was built on the property in the late 1930s. The pool is most well known for the lore that began when 7-year-old Edwin Rush's body was found in the pool on July 29, 1961. It was reported that his brother was the lifeguard at the community pool. He had left for lunch, and when he returned, Edwin's lifeless body was floating in the pool. Many have claimed to have seen the boy's ghost around the pool and have allegedly even communicated with him near the pool as well as inside the hotel.
Oh, wow. I was going to say, is this going to be like a poltergeist thing? Like...
Right. Maybe that's the fear. And they're like, we got to get rid of this dang pool.
Right. Get rid of the pool.
Let's fill it in. Create a pavilion. And just so we're
a poltergeist
clear,
pavilion.
Yeah. It ain't going to help.
Nope.
But they still going to come. There's also an older story of a man falling from a horse crossing a bridge leading to the hotel property. He fell into the creek below and died. Horsey was fine, by the way.
Okay, good. Not that I wanted the man to die, but, you know.
At least the horse was all right.
The horse is okay.
There's also another story that a loud crash can be heard as if a vehicle hit the building. It is said that it sounds like bricks falling, but upon investigation, there's no damage and everything's just still in its place. Not sure how often that occurs.
Right. Just
but interesting.
A disembodied crash.
Yeah. Which is a new one for me.
Right.
Like, I'm used to hearing about, like, oh, you know, this dead guy is repeating what happened to him when he died or something else.
Right.
And I guess maybe that could be why it's like that, but I've never in my life I heard bricks falling and I came outside and bricks weren't falling. So now we have ghost bricks.
Right. So I'm like disembodied crash, disembodied bricks.
Ghost bricks. Build myself a little fort out of ghost bricks. Being there, you can't see me.
Right. This is my ghost fort.
I swear, I keep going back to this 10-year-old self. I don't know what's going on. Building forts, making sausage jokes.
I'm just saying, it's coming out.
And nut jokes.
Oh
Sausages and nuts. Twigs and berries.
Twigs and berries. Nuts and bolts.
Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Might have to throw the Hunger Games in.
Yeah. Why not? It is said that Mr. Cloyd still wanders the halls whistling. So imagine that one. Be walking around and be like, who?
He's a whistler, huh?
Who's whistling? I'm like, is he whistling a tune or is he whistling at the ladies?
He's like,
hello.
Hello, ladies.
I like these new clothes.
I like this new style. I can see your ankles.
One of the more famous stories, one of the most reported, I guess, would be a little girl named Sarah Cloyd. She predominantly haunts room number 37, but there are some other rooms that they report seeing her in or hearing her. She's also in the white hallway a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Many reports claim that she is in room 37 holding her stomach. Others would say she's mischievous and has held doorknobs and even rolled a ball. Like, she'd be like, no, we'll hold this doorknob. Right. You can't get out.
Like the Stanley Hotel.
Which would creep the crap out of me. Like, hello, my doorknob is not working.
Right, my doorknob's not working. I wonder why she's holding her stomach if she died from like some kind of stomach
They didn't say.
issue.
What's funny is, like, I read about her and then I watched, like, a YouTube video that the new owners had recorded. And I was like, they talk about her holding her stomach. There is no verification that she is even Sarah Cloyd. That's
Right.
like, they're guessing it's her from the family that owned it before
Right.
the cult.
Because I'm sure they lived there.
Right.
They owned it and lived there. So,
Right.
yeah.
So they're assuming it was their daughter that this is. But then again, remember, I also said people were traveling here because they were sick. And
Right.
they were
True.
thinking that this place was going to fix them. No matter what they had
Yeah.
wrong with them, they were just going to go take a dip in the healing springs and voila.
She could have been a guest.
So
yeah.
she could have been a guest daughter. Or she could have been the Cloyd's daughter and she just got sick. And so I don't know. But she obviously died as a little girl. They do, like I said, offer those ghost hunt weekends. And those offers include lodging in a haunted room, dinner, breakfast, and even a midnight snack buffet. It also includes a history and hauntings documentary screening and all night, lights out ghost hunting.
I love it. I want to do that.
And there's like several little outbuildings, like little chapels, stuff like that. You can go sit in with your meters and your cameras and all your
things.
All your things, and you can focus on that area while another group or another, person is somewhere else. So it's not like everybody's on top of everybody, but they do tend to have larger groups of people. So, but you're allowed to like go off.
Right, and explore and do things yourself. Like we did, but with the cemetery, we were like, we're going to go to the cemetery.
Yeah, you're like, okay. I mean, they said you can go, and no one went. Except for us. That would probably be the same situation here. They'd be like, so no one ever goes over there, but if you guys want to go, you can go. And I'm like, bye. Going. So, they have a website that I did not write down because I'm cruel like that and feel like everybody could just use Google, damn it.
Google it, yes.
But there's a website for the Thomas House Hotel. You can book your ghost hunting weekend or your regular stay or whatever.
Or your healing stay.
Yeah, or your healing stay. Whichever you need. But they also have like other normal entertainment.
Yeah.
They do have live music sometimes. So they have people singing, whatever. They also do something which I think is a little bit different than most places. They actually have like an acting troupe that comes and will do like little skits during dinner.
Oh, that's cool.
And stuff like that. And it's not necessarily like murder mystery or anything like that. The skits are always different, but you can always see what's playing.
Right.
So they're not haunty, but
that would be
probably also pretty cool. They look like they were funny.
I was going to say, what I saw. Does the butler come out with his tiny hand and put it in your mashed potatoes?
Serve your mashed potatoes with his good hand?
Right.
He might.
He's like, let me try that for you.
Gonna get in there.
My germs.
Right. Which is always funny until the good hand gets involved.
Right. Oh my gosh. Well, it sounds like a really cool place. And I used to be a ghost hunter fanatic. I would watch all of that stuff. I don't sit down and watch things unless I have like a large stretch of time off or something.
I listen more than I watch.
Right.
Things.
I'll listen. So I don't get to see it. So I will have to check that episode out because I want that on my ghost bucket list.
I will say I once watched, this is just going to sound funny and weird. I once watched Ghost Hunters while laying on my back with my head hanging off the couch. So it was like upside down.
Right.
And I ended up having to rewind it and watch a part over again because something I noticed while I was upside down.
Oh, gosh.
That I didn't notice when I was right side up. So then I had to watch it again a third time, upside down. And whether or not this specific thing that happened during this portion of the episode actually happened, and then they didn't catch it, so they tried to recreate it. But being upside down, I saw the recreation of this part. So I was like, was it recreated? Was it just filler and y'all made this up?
Completely upside down debunk that.
But I was like, bro, do I need to start watching these things upside down?
Apparently so.
Because I was like, what? And then I was like, no, I know what I saw. Rewind again. Get back upside down.
I can't watch anything upside down. I get vertigo. Me and my motion sickness and then the vertigo. Vertigo is not fun.
Well, then I don't recommend you do it.
No. I'll be like last time I laid in a hammock, I was like, oh, somebody help me out. I've got vertigo.
I'm gonna die. Dizzy.
It's not the funnest thing, but But that was really good. I liked it. I'm gonna go watch
you can
a
find
video on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can Google it and find the episodes that it was in. So then you don't, you can pretend you're there. Watch someone else's ghost hunt. There's a lot of people who posted their little ghost hunt weekend stuff. So there's tons of stuff on YouTube you can watch about what they heard, what they didn't hear, what they thought, what they didn't think. There's a ton of people, disembodied voice stuff. Lots of that.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah, all the cool things. So now I told you it exists. It is up to you to further your Thomas House Hotel experience.
Yes. Do it. And, if you guys haven't already, we do have a TikTok, and we post some really awesome videos on there, like our trip to Natchez and everything. We've been getting lots of views, lots of likes, nothing like substantially viral, but it's getting up there. So
we get comments sometimes.
We get a few comments. Cool. It'd be really cool if you had a TikTok, if you would go like and comment and
follow
us and stuff.
Yeah, same with
awesome.
Same with the YouTube.
Yes,
I think we have currently 28 subscribers. So
that's cool. Yeah, you said the Granny Magic episode,
yeah, we had got the most views on that one.
That's cool. I guess everybody was interested in some Granny Magic.
Yeah, yeah. We even had somebody who, I don't know if they listened completely, but I think they.
I think it was a bot, like you said.
I was like, I'm reading it and I'm going, okay, so I don't think that our episode was about slavery at all. It was just about culture, all the cultures mixing together, all the different homeopathic medicines
that came together
in that area.
They went on a tangent about how Roots was plagiarized and
plagiarized from a book called The African.
Yeah. And all the stuff, and I'm like, we're not going to feed into that.
Yeah.
You can rant all you want, go for it.
Yeah, I was like, cool, thanks. That was just the ending of that was what was it? Now that's the real tea.
Yeah, that's the real tea.
And I'm like,
was it?
Our show is not about the spoken gossip tea.
Right. We're just sitting back here drinking some tea, and actually my friend Robin asked me today, do we actually drink sweet tea while we record? And I said no, most of the time, it's like coffee or just something random. But
plain water, because the sugar in the tea would it messes with my voice a little bit.
Yeah.
Do I love sweet tea? Heck yeah.
But shout out to Robin, because she is a true player.
Yeah.
She's listening to all our episodes. But we love you, Robin.
But we do drink sweet tea, and the whole premise behind the name, Hold My Sweet Tea, is just hold my beer.
Right. I got a story to tell you, hold my sweet tea.
Yeah. Watch what we do, or, watch what, maybe we're saying that this is what all these true crime people are doing. They're going out there committing crime, saying, hold my sweet tea.
Right.
Who knows?
We wanted to have a play on
Something southern,
southern.
something funny.
Right. Because we're kind of southern, kind of funny.
But it's not meant to be just gossip, y'all.
No, not at all.
I mean, we might gossip a little bit.
Maybe.
But that's not what the whole point behind it is.
Not at all.
So, yeah.
But yeah. Go like our
totally love that we got comments anyway. Don't even care what it's about.
That's what I said. We're not going to complain because we love it. We want to comment.
No. And I wasn't really complaining, nor was I getting whatever. I just thought it was weird. So I was trying to understand why.
Right.
Why they said what they said.
Right.
I was kind of just like, I would love to converse with you. However, I'm just kind of confused. So, okay. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And as usual, I'm going to tell you all the things. Like, our theme music is created by Patty Salzetta. Whoop, whoop. Threw me off. You can find us on all the socials, like TikTok and the YouTubes that we brought up today.
And everything else. Except for Twitter, because,
Yeah, no, we're not on X.
Yeah.
Because we're just not. I never could get into it personally, so I was just like, meh, whatever. But anyway, obviously you're listening to us wherever you get your podcast. Tell your friends. They can also listen to us.
Share us.
Wherever they get their podcasts. Like, wherever. And if they've never gotten a podcast before, they can go to our website, www.holdmysweettea.com. There's a whole list. Pick a place. Look around. See what looks pretty to you. Because they all look different.
Exactly.
And most of them, you can listen for free.
Yes. And we don't put ads on anything.
Yet.
As of yet. Until, we get a little bit more under our belt, then we might throw an ad or two in there. But
in which case it will only be because we would love for the ads to at least pay what we pay.
Right.
To put this out there for y'all.
Yeah.
So just to cover our cost. Our cost of this fun.
Because it's not for free.
No, it's not free for us, but it's free for you.
Right. But we love doing it, so it's fun. Yeah. So.
And like Holly said before, too, merch is on the way. But we are getting samples first because we don't want to have y'all out there buying stuff that looks like crap. Right. So we're going to make sure it's okay, and then we will post about it.
Yeah. I'm looking at you, U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah.
It's literally across the street.
Across the street.
They're holding our merch.
Hostage.
I'm like, you're lying. It's not coming until tomorrow.
Right. Delivered by 7 p.m., my butt.
They're like, can I just come over there and get it?
Right. But then, again, if you guys have anything you'd like to share with us, I mean, obviously, you can message us via Messenger. You can comment on Facebook, comment on Instagram, slide into our DMs.
Ooh, la la.
You can also send us a text, which is at the top of every episode. We can't really reply to those, but I'll happily reply by reading it out loud.
There you go.
And telling you in the next episode. And then, of course, our email is steeped@holdmysweettea.com.
Do we need to get a Snapchat?
Right. I mean, we can, but I don't want strangers to be snapping me.
True.
Their junk.
Here's my sausage.
Look, twigs, berries. You send me that, I'm going to post it somewhere you don't want it. So don't do that.
Yep. So listen to us everywhere, like Pearl said. And remember to stay safe out there. Hold My Sweet Tea is a Drunken Bee production, like the Bumble kind. And just because we're dipping doesn't mean you can't keep, sipping. My brain just fried and melted. Bye. Bye.